What's going on, guys? Now, I've got a little bit different take on this than most people do, and I know some people are. I know some people are going to come after me on this one, but I think that you got to embrace and you got to listen to the negativity. And people always say, "Oh, just don't listen to negativity. Don't listen to anyone else. Just blah blah blah, whatever. Do your own thing." And I do agree with it to an extent. I agree that you gotta be on your own path. Like you can't give up on something because someone says says something negative. Because typically the trolls out there are trolls. You know what a troll is? Like the troll that lives under the bridge. There's like a stereotype, and typically they're people that are going nowhere, that are talking trash about you, whether it's family, friends, acquaintances, whoever it might be. But here's what I'm saying, and I'll tell you a story, a story that was very freeing to me. Back, some years ago, before I had my breakout with my business and with work and everything, even though I was working steadily and making progress, I think a lot of people on the outside didn't see what I was working on. And in the house that I was living in at the time and the cars I was driving at the time were not exactly anything you'd look at, and none of that screamed success. If anything, it screamed exactly the opposite of success. Okay, just to give you a picture. And it would bother me sometimes, the negativity that I would get. And one time I was at a family party and somebody said something very offhanded. How do you say it? Like they said something very negative to me, but in a roundabout way. I don't know how you would, there's a term for it, and it's just slipping my mind. But they said something very negative, and I understood what they said, and it's very insulting. And I talked to my brother afterwards. I called him up because we were kind of in the same boat. And I said to him, Alan, I said, you do realize that so-and-so thinks you and I are complete losers, right? He's like, yeah, I guess so. I'm like, no, Alan, like for real. Like they don't have any respect for us at all. Like at all. And I thought, and what really would genuinely would genuinely piss me off at the time is it was all economically based. Like is because someone that said it to me didn't make their own money, but they were married into money, right? And when I say money, I mean, it's not like, I don't feel like going into explain. It doesn't need explanation. It's not like they're like, hugely rich, but they were well off, right? But it was, the person was married was married to the person making the money. So it wasn't even her that was making the money. Anyways, and I said to him, I said, what I was going to say, what really pissed me off is that, at this point, I was a good dad. I thought I was I'm not perfect, but I thought, I'm a pretty good dad. I'm a pretty good person. I'm not a bad person. Maybe I'm not doing as good economically as you have these standards of everyone else, whatever. But I just thought it was really insulting. It really kind of pissed me off, because I was really nice to these people too. So I said to I was telling my brother afterwards, I'm like, they have no respect for us. They think we're losers. But I said, think about it this way. I'm like, think about how freeing that is. And I said it not just with that person. I said, people in general, in our family, in our extended family, people think we're losers. Like I said that to my brother. I said, but think about it like this. It's kind of freeing in the way that there's no expectations. No one expects us to succeed. And at the time, I think I was probably like 37, 38 at the time, and which is kind of embarrassing because I feel like I didn't really blast. I mean, I had some successes, but then I had some successes along the way. But I would succeed, and I would kind of drop back down and mess up, and then kind of come back. And it wasn't really till about 2020 that I kind of last 4 or 5 years that I kind of really put into gear and kind of got my shit together. But and I'm still working on it every day when I say that. But so anyway, so I'm talking to my brother. I'm like, okay, think about this. If everyone thought we were these great people and thought these big things, that you and I are going to do great things, I said, it would be kind of hard because you might not ever be able to reach those expectations, and everyone's going to kind of look down on you. But if everyone's looking down on us anyways, you've got nothing to lose. So I said, if we try things or do things, it doesn't matter, because if it doesn't fail, if it doesn't work out, everyone thinks we're going to fail anyway, so who cares? And he agreed with me, but he didn't I guess he didn't embrace it the way I did, because I guess he let it go. But for me, I took it, it was very freeing for me. Like, it was very freeing not to have those expectations. It was very freeing not to have to worry about, meeting these expectations that people thought I was going to succeed. It was actually freeing, mentally and everything, knowing that people just expected me to fail and expected that I wasn't going to really do anything. So I'm like, I can try things, I can do things, and I can go out there and I can make an effort. And if I fail, who cares? I'm not going to look stupid, because the only thing I can do is succeed, because if I happen to succeed at something, then I'm going to look like a hero. Then, and that's what ultimately happened, is that I started succeeding on the outside. I mean, I was doing stuff, I was building up at all these years that no one saw. But then when I finally succeeded, what was able to be seen from the outside, it was like kind of a big shock, a big surprise. And I think a lot of people were taken off guard by it. And that was the thing. So I'm saying, so that's why I say, listen to the negativity and embrace the negativity, because it's freeing. If people think you're a loser, great. Then you don't have to worry about succeeding in the next 6 months. Then if you do stuff and you try stuff that maybe you're afraid to try and you fail, who cares? Everyone thinks you're going to fail anyways. So embrace it. Embrace it, guys. Embrace it. And then, but here's the one thing though. Here's the only thing I would say. After you do succeed, those same people that like people will say, well, don't listen to people if they're being negative to you, if they're saying negative. And then when you succeed at something, they go, and then those people give you a compliment, you want to accept the compliment. And you want to be like, oh, this person thinks I'm a big success. My thing is, the people who are, talking shit about me before, and I'm not just saying just talk shit, but I mean people who just didn't think I was going to do anything before. Well, when they compliment me now, I accept the compliment, but I'm not going to sit there and go, oh, wow, they think I'm a big success. I just go, I didn't care what they thought about me before. I'm not going to care now, but I would say embrace the negativity and listen to it, because also sometimes, there could be a little bit of truth into some of that. And that's something we don't want to acknowledge either, that maybe there's some truth. If everyone says, oh yeah, this person's lazy, they're talking about you, maybe there's a little bit of truth in that. Maybe you gotta look within and say, okay, maybe I am being a little bit lazy. Maybe I can work a little bit harder. So listen to negativity, listen to the negativity, and listen, embrace it, because you got nothing to lose. You got nothing to lose. So let's push forward and make something work this year. We'll wrap it at that.